welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome, and for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos, DIY tutorials, budget videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I load a new video. Commenting, liking, and sharing does help my channel grow and would be truly appreciated. Alrighty, so for this video, I did want to talk about happy notes. I have learned in 2019, while I am not a fan of planners per se, because I don't like pre-made layouts, regardless if it's the vertical, horizontal, academic, monthly, dashboard, or whatever, I am almost addicted to happy notes, and I do have a video on 20 uses that you can use your happy notes for. But I did want to end 2019 with my top 5 favorite ways to use happy notes. And so this will just be the 5 uses that I use on a fairly regular basis, or that I plan to use on a fairly regular basis. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a few. So it's going to be from 5 to 1. So rounding out to the top 5, number 5 is this little beauty here. This is a DIY mini happy notes that I had made. A lot of the different happy notes in whatever size, half sheet, classic, big, and this mini, we don't have here in Hawaii. So anything that I would want, I'd have to purchase and have shipped to me. So I'm a big fan of just DIYing my own thing. So this I made out of a sticker and a file folder that I laminated, punched, and then put on discs. And for this, I like using this as my video notes. So as I'm editing videos, I like to write down who I've mentioned in the video, things that I should link to the Amazon affiliate program that I belong to, because lots of people usually ask, oh, what are you using, where do you get this, and things like that. So, just to be helpful. And because I hate writing on the backs of papers, the true beauty of the disc system is when I'm done with this page, then all I do is just flip it over, and then I'm writing on the same page, because I hate writing on the backs of papers, but I have no problem writing on this side of the paper. And because it is on the discs and you can pop it in and out, that's why you'll see that for a lot of the sheets that I have, it's upside down, because I just flip it over and then I get to use my entire piece of paper. I like looking at this. I like looking at the notes I've taken. It's messy, it's not cute, but it just makes me feel like, I've got 400 videos up, and I also have lots of notes about the videos. And I actually like keeping it all in one spot. This is certainly not all the notes I've taken, but I am trying to be more cognizant of keeping track of the work that I do. Sometimes when my videos go a little bit long, I like to doodle in here as well. And so for number 5, it is using a happy notes, oddly enough, as an actual functional working notebook. Number 4 is this here. Now, this happy notes I was recently gifted by my friend Kelly of Insight Hope 99 here on YouTube. I'll link her channel below. What I did was I took out the paper, put it on expander rings, because the 4th way that I like using my happy notes is for layout ideas. And so this entire little beauty here is actually all of the layout videos that I've done, where I try to test out the different paper that I have and see how I can use lined paper, graphed paper, paper that doesn't match, and see if I can turn it into a usable and functional layout. And so this warehouses that. I like keeping it all together but separate from the actual happy notes that I have, because not only do I like testing myself and challenging myself on how I can create new spreads, but I like looking through the ones that I've done just to get inspiration from it, because they have so many of these half sheets out there that I like figuring out what to do with them and being able to play. And so just even now flipping through them, some of them were better than others. But I mean, all in all, I like having this together. Now I actually have several of these half sheet systems, I guess you could call it, where I've taken, or I've made, either way, these covers, put them on expander discs, and then I just warehouse it all together rather than having loose paper. And hold on, I can show you that. All right, so what I was talking about is these are all expander discs. I have tons of expander discs, and all this is just a warehouse for all of the different blank half sheets that I have, whether they were gifted to me, whether I cut them down like I did here. This cover is from a plastic placemat that I have a tutorial on how to do. This one, I made this from a big Happy Notes cover that I just cut down. And then this is the guts of this one right here, as well as other Happy Planner paper and notes that I've been gifted. And I just like having all of the blank pages here versus sporadically around my room, and I like having the layouts here. And the way that I'm foreseeing this is going to happen is I'm going to keep doing layout idea videos, because I mean, look at all the stuff that I have to play with. And then once I have them, I will fill this, and these will go down and this will fill up. At least that's how my brain's telling me it's going to work. But for number 4, just having a place to play with layouts and to warehouse them, I think is a great way to use a DIY version of a Happy Notes system. Number 3 of my favorite ways to use a Happy Notes is as a journal. Now this one probably looks really strange to you because it is on a 5-disc system. This is what I'm calling a Happynichi Midi, and this was really to mimic the Happynichi Teisho, which is a day on one page kind of spread. And so I did start this earlier in the year. It was May, and what I was doing was every day is really a kind of a tracker journaling system. And I actually really liked doing this, but then as my summer got busier, I kind of fell by the wayside. Now the reason why it's on the list, and the reason why it's number 3 on the list, is for January, I actually plan to do a 31-day challenge where every day in January I want to journal in here. And I will have a video coming up soon, probably within the next week or so, on how you can make your own little day on one page kind of journal. Because if you're interested in joining me on the challenge, really, I mean, the guts of it is for 31 days in January, I'm going to do a journal page. Whether I actually show that on here, that's not the challenge. It's just to do it, because I can usually get maybe 3 to 5, 10 days at the most, and then, you know, something else occupies my time. And I like journaling. It's just, there are just some times where I just feel I don't have the time, and based on a recent video that I did, I actually have lots of time. It's just making it a priority and hopefully turning it into a habit. That's why it's number 3, because I actually really like how this looks. But again, number 3, having a Happy Notes, even one that I've made myself, as a journal is one of my top 5 favorite things to do with a Happy Notes. Number 2 is this. Now, if you followed me on my lettering series, I did do a 15-week lettering series where, as a beginner, and sorry, the glare is probably crazy, I was showing you how I was going to learn how to do modern lettering calligraphy. And so every week for 15 weeks, starting a few months ago, I had come into this here, and this is again something I DIY'd, where I took a Happy Notes that I had, and I picked that up from Joann's. And then I cut down some lettering workbooks, punched them, and again, I'll link all of those videos below. And then I used the Happy Planner paper, which I think is a great quality paper, and I just practiced my lettering. And then, based on some feedback from Kelly and Catherine and whatnot, they were like, yeah, I'd like to watch that. And so every week we learned something else. Now, it's very basic. I mean, it's basically a lettering series from a beginner for beginners. But I think where it was useful for me, and I'm hoping it was useful for those who are watching, is it didn't assume that you already had some experience. It didn't assume that you already knew how to do things, because what I found from the books, and this is specifically of something that Catherine had said in one of her comments, was this assumes that you know how to build letters, because after you read about tools and whatnot, it jumps right into the lettering. But where I was frustrated with, and I was talking about that when I did this video, was I don't know how to build it. And it isn't just, okay, well, follow how the arrows go, because unless you have some fundamentals, and there are 8 basic strokes that do that, then this will always seem like it isn't going to work. And so that's what this whole series was for. I do lettering in my planner. That's the only reason I wanted to learn lettering, is to add it to my planner. I sometimes am really bad at it. Sometimes it comes out really good, but then I don't spell the word correctly. So I really had fun, even though towards the end of the series I did get more frustrated as we were learning how to combine letters and transitions and things. But I really like having a Happy Notes as an all-in-one kind of system, because I do plan to come back and work on the actual notebooks, but I also like that I have all of this beautiful paper here that I can use for my lettering practice. I can take it in and out as I need to, and it just makes it super convenient, if not easy to turn. And so that's number 2 on my top 5 ways that I love using Happy Planner, Happy Notes. Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone who's been following on my channel, but my top number 1 favorite way to use Happy Notes is here in my DIY Skinny Classic Happynichi Fobonichi Happy Bullet Journal. And when I say DIY, it truly is. So I made the cover because I throw this in my purse and I want to protect my rings. And I've always liked this style of traveler's notebook. So even when I carried around my mini, I did the exact same thing. Now this I actually swiped from a Happy Planner half notes that my friend Val had sent me, and actually it's only the front cover. The back cover is a DIY that I had made from a big Happy Notes notebook, and it just slides into that, and that's how I designed it. And then for the planner system, this first section is my regular just weekly planner section that I do DIY. And then in my second section, I have my social media and business section. And this one is done more on a dashboard type of layout, but modified, because unlike my regular planner section, I don't track anything on a daily basis. There are 7 categories here, and that means for the 7 days of this particular layout, I can track different things: my blog, my stats, YouTube, Instagram, Etsy, and my Facebook group, Happynichi Inspiration. Now this layout here was gifted to me recently by my friends Kelly and Dee, and I'll link their channels below. And I'm not going to use this as a planner. And because I have 2, I certainly could use it in either section, but I feel very confined by this. So this will be beautiful paper that I'm going to use. I'm certainly going to show some love to some of the things that I have, but I'm going to use them in a way that makes sense for me. And then I have some trackers here that I've made, and that's why I do consider this more of a bullet journal than anything. And I do actually plan to do some more trackers in here. I do have some just blank papers to do some idea lists. And then this is where I keep both my monthly bill tracking as well as some important information in the back. I'm able to fully customize how my planner is on a week-to-week basis really just hits buttons for me. But I don't like a disc bound, or I don't like a book-bound system. So trying to do this in like a Leuchtturm or Scribbles That Matter or one of those never actually worked, because I tried that. But I like being able to take the pages out. I like being able to customize this. I like being able to use this as a template for another week if I'm just, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I can just reuse a layout that I've already used before. But I really like just having the freedom of doing what it is that I want. All right, guys. Well, that is my top 5 uses for Happy Notes. Again, check out my video where I show you 20 different ideas on how to use your Happy Notes. That's it from me for now. Thank you so much for following me on this journey. And as always, aloha.